Hi guys, so the Vice President of the European Commission, Maroš Šefčovič, appeared on the Andrew Marr show to answer questions about goods and checks on goods moving from Great Britain to Northern Ireland. A side note here, when was the last time that you saw Lord Frost, the Brexit Minister, appear in a studio or via satellite to give an interview? I've seen him answer questions on the street as he's going into a meeting, and I've seen him answer questions to politicians at select committees. But I've never seen him, for example, on the Andrew Marr show or on LBC or any media outlet getting grilled. Weird that. Anyway, Marr was suggesting that the UK government's proposal to carry out different checks on goods moving from Great Britain to Northern Ireland was something that most people consider reasonable. Maroš Šefčovič responded to this. Notice also how they spelt his name as he appears on the screen.
It's just that proposal from Lord Frost seems to a lot of people relatively straightforward. Goods which aren't going to leave Northern Ireland treated one way, goods which might go to Dublin or go to the south treated a different way. And I just wonder what there is in that you could possibly object to, and whether you still think that he is not negotiating sincerely. At the beginning of the month, you suggested the British side were not being sincere in their negotiations. Have you changed your mind about that?
I think, Andrew, I would ask your viewer the question, would the UK accept not to have the overview of what's coming to the UK market? Would they accept it? I don't think so. And you just simply have to understand that if something is coming to the EU single market, that we have to have an overview. And I am fully aware that what the complaints in Northern Ireland have been, and therefore what we proposed was super reduced customs formality. We are ready to reduce them by half. We reduced 80% cut in SPS checks and many other forthcoming gestures and solutions from our side. What we cannot do, we cannot undo the Brexit, especially the type as the UK has proposed it, negotiated it, and signed the agreement upon it with us. And therefore, I think that these are the framework within which we have to find pragmatic solutions. And we are in this solutions-driven mode since the 1st of January of this year, when we have this discussion about the implementation of the protocol. And I'm sure that if Lord Frost and UK would double their efforts and come us to meet in the halfway, we can resolve all the outstanding issues to the satisfaction of the people of Northern Ireland.
To the satisfaction of the people of Northern Ireland, not to the satisfaction of Lord Frost and others. Now, what was Andrew Marr suggesting here? That the UK government wanted that checks be carried out on some goods and checks be carried out on other goods, different types of checks. So goods that would be destined to entering the European Union from Northern Ireland would have certain level of checks carried out, and goods that would remain in Northern Ireland would have other checks carried out. But you can't do that. You have to check everything. How do you determine whether something is arriving in the Republic of Ireland unless you check it? That's what the European Union are talking about, and it's just logical. You can't determine whether something is going to arrive in the Republic of Ireland, the rest of the EU, or something is going to remain in Northern Ireland unless you check it. What other mechanism could you use? Now, what the European Union have been doing is reducing the checks. I think when it comes to these checks, they're discovering that trade has slowed down between Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Now, I don't have any evidence really to back that up, because the UK government won't release figures for trade between Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Probably because they don't want to show that trade has dried up, because it'd be extremely embarrassing for Brexiteers. But we can see how trade has increased between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland and the EU, you could say, and between the EU and Northern Ireland. So if trade has increased there, and there are problems with getting goods from Great Britain, we can assume from that trade is reduced between Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Now, of course, Brexiteers don't want to release data for that. I presume it's because it would be embarrassing. It would be nice to see the data. And it would also back up some of their claims that, the protocol is not working or whatever because trade has dropped. But this is a realignment. This is normal, a normal consequence of Brexit. And as the Vice President here said, yes, this is the type of Brexit that Boris Johnson and his chief negotiator, Lord Frost, negotiated, signed, and sold to the public. But getting back to Andrew Marr's point, you have to check everything to identify whether it's going to remain in Northern Ireland or whether it's going to continue on to the Republic, back into the EU. That's simple. It's logical. And I don't understand why it's difficult to understand. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?